Charts Part 3 for our concession stand. So at this point, we have created our worksheet with all the information from our concession. And then we went through and created a graph for the quantity of products sold, this being a column chart, sales, and then we combine those two together to show how those compare. And so next what we want to do is take a look at a circle chart or a pie chart. And so to do that, we're going to take a look at the percent of sales that we calculated back in video 1 for this series. So you will recall that percent of sales here is calculated by the part divided by the whole amount. So what we did is we took the part was represented by our individual products, and the whole amount is represented by the sum of the sales. And so we divided our sales for each product by the total sales amount. The part of each one divided by the whole amount. And that gave us a percentage of each one of these. And so because we were doing this calculation based on the total sales amount, then the breakdown of this total sales here is represented by each of these values, and the sum or the total of this should equal, take a guess, what do you think? Yes, 100%, because it's all based on 100% of the total sales. So if we were to add all of these up, the answer should be 100%. Well, let's verify that that is correct. Since we are going to add these up, let's go ahead and put that line or border underneath cell number E14. And so we're going to look for the single border. Bottom border right there at the top. And we could do it the same way we did this here, where we typed in equals sum and then selected this range of data. Another way you could do it would be to click a shortcut button called Auto Sum, as represented right here, Auto Sum. So if you click Auto Sum, it'll automatically highlight and make this range of cells active and put in a familiar looking formula automatically. And we can press enter, and there it is, 100%. So we know that our calculations were done correctly. At least the math was done correctly. So that's how we know. So because we have something that adds up to 100%, this is appropriate for using a circle or a pie graph. So a pie graph is good to use when we're looking at the parts of a whole amount. Remember our definition here, parts divided by the whole. So we're looking at this entire amount, so we can use the pie or the circle to represent the total amount, and then we can look at how those slices of pie are divided up by all of our products. Well, let's take a look at one to make this discussion a little bit more visual. So first thing to do is select all of the values. Make sure you only select these values. Don't include the 100%. We don't want to do that. Select the values, insert, take a look over here, charts, insert a pie or donut chart. So we want a pie chart, and we will take that first one right there, and there it is. Select that. Now we don't know what all these colors represent at this point, but we're going to fix that real quickly. So we have 1 through 8 representing our 8 products. So, just like we did before, right-click, select data, horizontal axis labels. That's this right here, horizontal. Edit, select our products, click OK. And there they are. Click OK. Let's go ahead and put a title. There we are. Concession products as a percent of total sales. Let's next go and choose a layout that will make our pie a little bit more descriptive. Once you have your chart selected, the Chart Tools appears, and we can use the Design buttons to go to Quick Layout. And let's go ahead and choose the first one here. And what that'll do is add some labels for each of our slices of pie. And so this visual allows us to very easily see that the biggest slice of pie went to hamburgers. 34% of all the sales went to hamburgers. And then there's candy being the smallest at 1%. Let's take a minute just to further explain this percentage so it makes sense to us as sales go. So 34% of all sales for hamburgers. So another way to look at that is that percent means per 100. And so we can take a look at it that for each dollar of sales, how much of that went to each particular product. For example, if we just took $1 of sales, what we can say is that 34 cents of that dollar is represented by the sale of hamburgers. Likewise, 19 cents from each dollar came from nachos. 1 penny came from candy. That's how much contributed to each dollar of sales. So percentages are a nice way to analyze the breakdown of each product and how it did contribute to our total sales. And for our last step, let's go ahead and move this to its own sheet or its own page. Right-click, Move Chart, New Sheet, Pie Chart. And there we have it, a nice big chart to analyze the breakdown of our sales as a percent of the total sales amount or the total amount. So the last step here is for you to go and find some data and create your own pie chart. So what you'll have to do is go find the data on the internet and then put it into a worksheet and then create a graph. So the way you can do that is just to go ahead and let's minimize that, head out to the internet, and then what I've done here is you can type in USA Today, which is a newspaper that always has lots of nice graphics, and so they do a lot with these charts. And so put in USA Today pie charts and then click on Images, and then something like this will pop up. And so you can take a look at, here's one that looks like fun. This is taking a look at what's the favorite night to order takeout for dinner. So the entire whole amount would be the days of the week represented here by Sunday through Saturday. And then you've got your values that you can go ahead and type in and then go ahead and graph this and see what you can come up with. So that's for dinner takeouts. Let's see what else is out here. There's something about baseball tickets. Are baseball tickets a good value for the cost? 52% say no. Unsure 11%, 37% of those selected said no. And so what you can do is you can go in directly and put in these values into a worksheet along with the answers and then see if you can graph that information. Let me do a quick explanation for you here in Excel. If you did want to do something like this one where you have all these percentages, if you're going to create this on a blank sheet, and here what I did is just added a sheet. This is our concession, but I went ahead and added a blank here. And let's say you want to do the baseball tickets, baseball ticket prices. And so the series selections were yes, no, and unsure. And then yes was, let me change something here real quickly. Yes was 52, 37%, and 11%. Now the problem with that is that if you want to convert that to a percentage, that's not what you want. So what I would recommend that you do is that before you key those numbers in, make a selection and click percentage. And then when you type in, it'll know that you want 52%. So you make your number selection up there first. And 11. If you didn't do it that way, and it's formatted as a general number, you'd have to make sure that you put in the decimal value of the percentage. So, for example, 52%, the decimal value is 0.52, 37% is 0.37, and 11% is 0.11. And you could do it that way. And then if you want, you could select those, and then you could select the percent button and get the same result. So you'd have to be careful of that. So good luck with that. Make a couple of those. Pick the fun ones, and then have me come around and take a look at it and see what you come up with.